So half of my news comes from social media. So this is where I get confirmation. And I was looking to find out if some of the things that I was seeing on social media with misappropriated money was in fact true, but by listening to some of the conversations, I'm thinking it really is. So that was my main question, but that's kind of been answered. So I just want to take the time to say, thank you for closing the southern border. That's been a huge problem in many people's lives, including mine. And I trust in everything that President Trump is doing. I again want to thank you for these calls where you answer people's questions, because I really didn't know if
Can I just tell you,
really...
Amy, that, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but can I just tell you that some people think that these calls are pre-recorded, or they think that we are, we're screening the calls in some way. And so I just want to say thank you for staying on the line this long, and the kind words that you conveyed. And this is, I think, for me, important. People have said, well, why don't you do them in person? Well, it's hard for people to be able to get to a town hall in person. And typically when you do them, you only have 10 or 20 people show up. We dial out to anywhere from 30 to 60,000 people when we do these telephone town halls. And we will get several thousand that will stay on the line. And so for me, this is a way that I can actually share what's really happening in D.C., answer tough questions like I did with John at the beginning of the hour, and then give you, sort of the world as I see it from the Oklahoma view. And so I just wanted to say that. Thank you for mentioning that.
Well, I appreciate everything that you're doing, and I really do appreciate this calls because, like I said, this is where I get to catch up and get to ask questions and listen to conversations and find out if what I am hearing is actually true or not.
Let me tell you one thing that I have learned job this week. Sure. No, you're exactly right. When you're working full time. Let me also throw this out there. We talk about waste, fraud, and abuse and the things that are happening. I had a woman call me this week who I actually used to serve with in the state Senate. She manages nursing homes and assisted living centers now. And she said, can you help stop the COVID tests that are being delivered to my facilities? And I said, what do you mean? And she said, for the last 4 years, every single month, she gets a box of COVID tests delivered to her facilities. Those boxes are $240 a piece. And she said, I have a storage room full of COVID tests that are not being used. And so I started doing some digging and come to find out the Biden administration signed a contract through the end of this fiscal year, mind you, to ship these COVID tests to nursing homes and assisted living facilities across the country. Can you imagine how much money is being wasted on these tests that are not being used and likely are expiring? And that's just one of a ton of examples. The DOGE found 22 contracts for underutilized building leases that they canceled. It saved the government $44 million. They canceled $45 million in DEI scholarships to Burma. They demanded the clawback of $59 million sent by a rogue FEMA staffer back in early February to house illegal immigrants in New York City hotels. I mean, it's wild the things that are happening. And so for me, the waste is real.
And that's some of the things that I've been seeing that, because it's on social media, I'm questioning it. Is this true or not? Because if they're finding this, I mean, it's great that it's being found. It's sad that it's happened, but it's great that it's being found.
Yep. Well, thank you for dialing in tonight, Tammy. Appreciate you, and thanks for the kind words.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Congresswoman, looking up at the clock, I hate to tell you this, time flies, but I've been so enthralled, I hadn't looked at the clock till just now. So I do want to give you a few moments to give us some parting words, please.